Cowdies. It's weekly walkabout time at the collector. Hope you're going good. Don't really care. They just sort of pay me to say that. We've been bloody busy this week. I'm a bit cactus. We've got the Australiana and Fine Art Auction. Got some really nice things this week. It's a really nice big still life oil by Jill Kirstein. Lovely big example of her work. A big sort of gilded frame. Really nice thing. Like this little oak auto trolley. It's also a bit dark, by the way. We've got half the lights out, but we'll try our best. Nice little purple boudoir chair. I really like the old sort of Morris chair, reclining arts and crafts armchair. He's a ripper. Nice little Art Deco chrome lamp with a little table and sort of smoker stand. Really nice secretaire with an Art Deco sort of top on it. It's a nice little Bartolozzi engraving. Little pianola gramophone's a ripper. It all lifts up. It has got the L to go back on it as well. Another nice little deco standard lamp. Sony lamp's a ripper there. Little girl, original ribbon shade on it. Eric Moyle, nice watercolour there of a nude. Got some interesting little Weg footy cards. Hoffman pottery bowl. Some nice pairs of scissors. Sharpening steel. Some more cards. Funny little collection of sort of miniature bits of Australian studio pottery. Nice little watercolour on mixed media by Andrew Mueller. And else we got, so I think Wendy Buller, little Aboriginal piece, yep. Nice little thing. I like this, attributed it to William Jock Frater, oil painting. It's unsigned, really nice thing, typical example of his sort of work. The right palette, all the rest of it. Good little thing. It's got another painting on the back of a mountain as well. Kind of like the frame. Shouldn't really be in that frame, but it's kind of nice. Nice little oil painting by Isabel Huntington. So we've got skateboard stuff, roller skate, rollerblade gear, stereo gear, little Kenneth Jack lithograph. Some nice drinks trays from the 1920s. Some cool clothes, bowling shirts and stuff. This one's pretty amazing. Sort of Charlie Sheen sort of bowling shirt. Pearl Snap Western. And this is cool. Fudoshin Kendo, Australia. Cool jacket with all the stuff on the front and the back. And it's got old M. Kemp's name on the sleeve. There you go. Cool jacket, cool thing. Interesting little lino cut here as well. Signed Zelinsky. So we've got boxes of stuff. Big sort of European school oil painting there. I know it's dark. Brand new barbecue in its box. A couple of interesting little Aboriginal watercolours here as well. Nice little pair of them. And else we've got some heaters and stuff and mixed items. Light shades and things like that. Not that you can see anything. A concrete kangaroo. What's his name? Kevin. There you go. Kevin the kangaroo. He's concrete. And this is a bloody huge thing by Dammit Hillier. It's like massive. This would be about like 1.5 metres by about 2 metres or something. In a big gold frame underneath glass. It's an absolute monster of a bit. Really good example. Interesting little Russian oil painting here. It's got all details in the back. Dated 1994 and it's signed with a little ink stamp. It's about all you can read on the ink stamp is CCCP. Boxes of CDs, Balinese paintings. Look to be a set of. They're a bit interesting. Little European school pieces, really nicely painted, lovely colours and stuff. It is signed and dated 1932, which is pretty early. Hard to make out the signature. A bit surprised by the date on that thing. What else have we got? Cool little sort of office chair with a little retro mattress. Another nice little table and a chair as well. We've got a nice sewing machine. What else have we got? These are cool little side tables with the little tile tops on them. Some nice prints down the back here as well, unframed prints. What else have we got? More paintings and things. Some nice William Henry Short watercolour, an interior of a cathedral scene. Needs some glass over the top. I reckon a different frame will change that picture. Got the big one of the train down the bottom there. There's a nice by Bernard Smith. Don't know him as an artist. He wrote a really important Australian art critic, Professor Bernard Smith. I don't think this is him. But anyway, whoever this guy is can paint. Really nice. Arthur Boyd exhibition poster's pretty cool. Nice little watercolour, 1930s, signed R. Montgomery. Little group lots of stuff down the bottom. These are nice Leon Pericles bird watchers. The Widgymorphic Guild of Bird Watchers Grand Champion Bird Spotter. Unusual and rare species. These are great. There's usually an etching involved, which is the plate up the top. And then he'll stick and apply sticks and seeds and stuff and badges and feathers. I like Leon Pericles' stuff. It's a nice one, and this is another nice one as well, called Widgie Seashells. He's about to have a big retrospective exhibition over in Western Australia. Alright, what else have we got? It's another Jill Kirstein still life. Another typical one, really nice, in the gold frame. You got some good art reference books. Charles Conda, Golden Summers, Heidelberg School, etc. This is new, this frame. You can see how it's been sort of constructed. It's not the most sort of secure, but it's a lovely bloody sort of arts and crafts style frame with those circular sort of corner bits. What else have we got? The nudes are quite nice. John Canning oil paintings nice. Trevor Opre watercolours nice. Some Peter Bond etchings and aqua tints. Big ammo crate. It's a nice little Fleur armchair up the top there. Teak base, he's a ripper. Hank Guth oil painting, pretty typical and kind of nice. Rugs and carpets. This is a big Gerard Matsayas, I'm pretty sure. Yep, really nice example. Duncan Goldfinch, South Australian painter. Really nice thing as well. This is a big signed David Bromley print. Or limited edition artist proof lithograph or something like that. All embossed down the bottom. Cool thing. Speaking of cool things, this bloody chair. Had a bit of fun with this. It's about 1950s, 1960s. Looks a hell of a lot like a Featherston, but it's not. I think it might have been someone mucking around, possibly in the sort of factory or something like that. They've come home and made their own thing. It's really unusual on the metal base. Metal base is all sort of shaped and everything underneath, so it actually all fits beautifully. Little brass caps on the feet. Really nice thing. There's no details or marks or anything like that on it. Needs a little bit of a clean. But if I was sort of as old as it is, so would I. It's a nice thing. Like this little arts and crafts side tape with the little sort of love hearts and stuff cut out of the side panels. What else have we got? China and glassware and crystal. Big lot here of copperware from Tasmania, made by Weeder. All pieces are signed. Dalton cabinet plates, records. Big watercolour gouache by Lionel Hinwood, South African artist, dated 81. Little pyramid phone's really quite nice. Some more Australian art reference books, Sid Nolan, John Peter Russell, Post magazines, cigarette and other tins. I've got a really nice collection of Tim Story of paintings as well, or works on paper. They're all from the Time Site suite. It's a set of 7, 8 if you include the Hessian bag they came in. This one's called, I think, Evening Approach. I think that's one's just called Pyramid. These are all lithographs or photographs that have been signed and numbered and all the rest of it. Funnily enough, that one's called Time Site. That's the big Hessian bag that came in. It's got the original little tag there, 59 out of 60. So there is an addition of 60 of these sets. These are being sold as individual pieces. Pyramid on fire there. So we got the Time Site flag. This one's called Time and Again. This one's called Engonia Site. These are really nice things. Really nice things. Now what else have we got? Some bloody good stuff this week, guys. Nice little lithograph by David Blackburn, English artist. It's a nice little oil painting by Trevor Jones. Nice little Michael Leunig coloured etching. I really like this. Big Arthur Boyd etching called Tosca, I think from his opera series in 1989. It's one of my favourite bits of the sale, the John Taylor. Big mixed media there, studio interior. I like his stuff. I like it a lot. What else have we got? Let's put all this stuff back. This is one of the nicest things we've sort of had through the rooms for a little while, is this Sally Herman oil painting. The light's not the best on it at the moment. That's a little bit better. Yeah, it's really nice. Boats and boat sheds. This sign lower left. And it's in pretty good condition as well from what I can see. From what I know, Sally Herman didn't treat his canvases and boards correctly before he painted them all the time, so quite often They're getting a bit loose and paint sort of coming off and things like that. But this one looks to be very, very stable. A really nice thing. It's really nice to have the chance to actually, you know, sell it. Now, who's this guy? Hoy Labadang or something like that. He's a Filipino artist. Went over to France, I think, in the 1930s or 40s or something like that. It's an interesting thing, pretty typical. It's an intaglio and lithograph. What else have we got? This is, I think, Charles Morris, who's an English artist. We found a painting selling over in England which was very much the same as this, just the tree here was a little bit different and a few things were a bit different. So it must have been a popular subject for him. There's a nice big oil painting by Dora Chapman, South Australian modernist. I think she was married to James Cant. It's a really nice thing. I kind of like this. I like the frame that it's in too. It probably shouldn't be in that frame, but I kind of like it. Harold Vike, Warrandyte Landscapes, a bloody ripper as well. Just loose and messy and good. You know, lots of paint on it. Good thing. Kind of like this. You won't hear me say this very often about a Pro Heart, but I reckon this colour screen print's an absolute cracker. Monday Morning Miner. Really nice thing. I think if you're going to sort of have a Pro Heart, I think this is a type of subject matter you want a bit of sort of social realism in amongst it. What's this thing? Oscar Namagira, big Hermannsburg School. Looks to be a big half-board watercolour. It's in great condition again, still holding all of its colour. This is also one of my favourites, I reckon, this week. The Dora Robson. Lovely nude study oil painting. Really nice thing again. Another little Michael Leunig. Little coloured etching. And I kind of like this. Dawn Evelyn Syme. Great Melbourne painter. Abstract expressionist. Really nice thing. I reckon it needs a new frame and it's under that friggin' non-reflective glass. I reckon if you got rid of all that, it'd be pretty different. I like her stuff. Once again, don't see much of it floating around. Alright, more china and glass. Big Aboriginal oil painting up the top there. Nice little retro set. This is a great Douglas Stubbs oil. 1966. Cracker of a thing. He does great sort of colourful stuff with weird little animals and stuff in the landscape. This one's a little bit different, but I kind of like it because it's different. Douglas himself was pretty different. That's a good thing. More china, beads and jewellery, records, Oz Pottery, Jan Neal Mixed Media. Another Dora Chapman oil painting again of gum trees. Really unusual perspective. I really like it. Little George Fodor watercolour of a hound. Needs a little bit of work. It's got plenty of foxing and stuff, so it needs to be sort of restored. Deco lights, teddy bears, big watercolour by Frederick George Reynolds. FG or GF Reynolds. I don't think anyone actually knows which way his initials go. George Benson oil, Canadian artist. Bloody good thing. Robert Sidney Cox watercolours, really nice. Nice collection of Oz Pottery. I just can't remember the potter off the top of my head. More pottery, book on John Glover. Dalton cabinet plates, retro. More Oz Pottery. Lots of nice stuff this week. Another oil painting by George Benson, I think. Australian plates. There's a nice little Essendon Town little sort of plaques. Comics, phones, Skipper. Right, little sake cups that when you put water in them you can see the nude girls in through the glass bottoms. Wembley. Records. Licorice box. It was full when it turned up. What else have we got? I reckon I've missed a couple of things over here as well. Yeah, bloody oath I have. Who's this? Peter Wright or someone, is it? Roy Wright. English, pastel. Deers in Richmond Park. Good thing. Another George Benson. And this is nice. The Cathals. He's a Sydney painter, watercolourist. I think his name's Sydney Cathals. Good thing. Speaking about fine art. Yeah. Felt painting of Snoopy flying his doghouse. He's going to go and take on the Red Baron. This is cool. Big Australian school thing about 1900, give or take, of Collins Street. It is unsigned, unfortunately. It's really nicely painted, though. Some of the figures are a little bit naive, but the buildings and stuff are really nice, and the light in it, not that you can friggin' see. We had bloody light catch on fire last night, so we've only got half the lights in the room on. Arts and crafts pedestal, some really nice clocks. This is unusual, a sort of deco trunk, which has got a little lift-out tray in the top. which is a bit unusual, and cupboards and shelves underneath, which I can't recall seeing before. Good little thing. Lovely Victorian sewing box, and a beautiful sort of Victorian flayed mahogany veneered grandfather clock. Yes, God, needs a little bit of work. Beautiful hand-painted dial with the sort of moon faces and stuff as well. Lovely thing. The face looks to have been made in Wigan, in England. Pretty amazing bit though. We've got some spare bits and bobs in a box down here that goes with it. Stamps, cutlery and stamps and stuff. Nice little box and some other gear there as well. And down the bottom here we've got a nice oil painting by John Frederick Norton. It's unusual to see a little oil painting there by Helen Illich. She painted with the Boyds around the corner in the studio. Used to paint a lot of the vases and the pots and the stuff that they threw. Never seen a painting by her. Pretty cool. Like the Lazy Susan with their little Aboriginal painted tile. In fact, Helen Illich probably painted that tile. Another nice little bit here, looks like Braymore Carstens or West German. Nice little collection of art glass. The little one over the back there with the white through it is fluorite glass. Lovely little easel. What else have we got? Uranium glass, a watercolour by Peter Russell Clark. If someone says, where's the cheese, I'm going to friggin' kill him. There's Blakeborough. Nice little retro West German dish. Really like this oil painting by William Rowell. Great bloody painter. Like a lot of Aussie blokes, he sort of gets overlooked a bit. He was on the trip up into the Northern Territory with his brother John Rowell and Rex Batterby and those guys, John Gardner, when Albert Namatjura was taught how to paint. Alright, William Rowell's a bloody great painter. It's a really nice thing. More pottery, uranium glass, more pottery, more glass. Some really nice bits up the end. The Bendigo Shell Majolica. Guy Boyd, really like the Bosley art pottery vase with the twin handles. Robert Langley Charger, John Percival Bowl, another Barsoni lamp. Pretty amazing spirit kettle with a third place from the motor race 1906 or something. Dunlop Reliability Motor Contest, third place 1906 by W.R. Grimwade. More glass, more pottery, Michael Mazzaros plaque. Clifford Orr watercolour. Diana Wallbirds. Good bits of pottery and more Barsoni lamps. More pottery. More glass. Wedgwood. More big bits of West German. Lovely little set of 3 Japanese wood blocks. Frederick Woodhouse Senior oil painting. Like a red rag to a brumby. It's a ripper. Signed and dated 1902, lower left. He's renowned for painting Melbourne racehorses, Melbourne Cup winners, the first 30 of them he painted. It's a great little thing. Anyway, guys, I think the battery on the camera's about to run out. We'll see you on Thursday night. It's going to be a bloody good sale.